Alright guys, what's good? So today's video is actually going to be on why artists should stay independent from the music industry. And here's the first thing is number one is you keep all your masters. So when you sign a deal, usually you have to give something up. Either it be half of your quarter of your master. You might literally own none of your masters when you sign a deal, and that's actually crazy to me because it's like you spent all this time and hard work to make some banger tracks, and it's like you got to give your masters to like a label. Like, what is the point of that? You know what I mean? Like, you work so hard, you took all these years to study your craft and to develop your craft, just to hand it over to another label who's gonna go out and earn money from it to give back to you. I mean, what's the point, right? Like, this isn't the 90s or the 80s anymore. This is like we're in the 20th century, 21st century. Like, this is like, come on. At this point in time, it's up to you to really get money from your own music online, not through the industry. Like, this is number two. So you develop and you build your own connections without an A&R. So what the A&R is going to do is A&R is going to help you get in the rooms, you know what I'm saying, with the top producer or the top songwriter, the top engineer. When you're independent, you actually have to go and develop these connections on your own. You have to go to shows. You have to go to, you have to make your moves in your city or outside your city and develop these connections yourself. So when you develop these connections yourself, you actually have you have a network built. It's not like an A&R just sending you you got to go to the studio, you got to go to that studio. You actually have real connections built. So number three as well, your career has more of a base. Like I said, instead of getting lucky and having a label start your career and throw you in front of a random audience. So when you're independent, you have more of a base to start off of. When you sign with a label, they're going to go ahead and try to market your career to people who may not even want the kind of music that you have. So what labels do is they'll put a bunch of money behind you, you know what I'm saying? Okay, we're gonna market this artist here, put a billboard in Times Square here, do all this kind of stuff, and it's like, okay, but there's nothing coming back. It's like, okay, maybe I have like some people coming in to listen to the music for maybe like a few songs, and then they disappear. So I have all these Spotify streams at the end of the month, hundreds of thousands, millions of Spotify streams from your ad budget that the label's putting behind you. But you check the listeners after like 3 months, and they've gone all the way down because you haven't gotten a core fan base. There's no core fan base there. It's just a bunch of ads thrown up. Like, okay, let's see who's doing whatever. But when you are independent and you're grinding for a long time and you're actually gaining the respect and the respect and the loyalty of the fans because you've been grinding for a long time, that's when you'll have those listeners on Spotify. You know what I'm saying? That's when you have all those followers and real followers and real likes on your Instagram profiles and Twitter profiles and stuff like that. Not just, okay, throw up an ad and let's see what it does, let's see what this artist does. That's what the labels are trying to do. You're not starting off from a base point. You're starting off from, please let me in, knocking on label's door. Please let me in. All right, well, let's see, what's your best song? Okay, you got this song? All right, okay, cool. Yeah, sure, let's give you $1 million deal. Okay, boom, you get the $1 million deal, and then it's like, all right, well, nothing's happening here, right? Like, I got the $1 million deal. I spent some of the money here, bought a house, did this, did that, and it's like, well, you don't really have a fan base here. You know what I'm saying? There's no fan base. The music was never good. They just signed you because they're just like, all right, well, maybe we can somehow market this artist. And then what happens at the end? You end up on reality television, reality TV show. Because why? You've never had that actual core fan base. You didn't build it yourself. You ran to the label. The fourth thing is you keep and own all your royalties and earnings, and you can split it with the producer who you're working with. So as you know, when you sign the label deal, if you're an artist that started from the bottom, or like, for example, like they have a bunch of artists that start from the bottom. I don't want to name names, but when you start from the bottom with the label, you're not gonna get the contract that you want. You're not gonna get the royalties and the, you know, the mastering, the publishing deals that you want. You're gonna get the shitty ones. So you're not gonna keep all your royalties. Someone's gonna come in and the label's gonna come in and try, hey, we need half of that. So if you're giving half of your royalties to the label exec or the label owners, what is there for you to take home? Because you got to split it now with the producer, you got to split it with the songwriter, you got to split it with the executive producer who didn't even do anything, you got to split it with this person, split it with that person. You don't have any royalties left. So that's the whole point of you being independent. You get to keep your royalties. Number 5 is you avoid working a job. You don't have to be constantly attending meetings, flying here and there, doing shows you don't want to do, and being in the studio with people you don't want to be with. So the number one thing why we're doing this music stuff, obviously number one, you know what I'm saying? But like one of the major reasons is we do not want to work a job. That is why. So when you sign with a music label, you're technically working a job. You're on contract. So you got to go to this studio. You got to go to this meeting. You got to go to this country at this date and perform this show. Like, this is a job at this point. It's like, what if I don't want to go to this meeting today? Like, what if I want to go play basketball or go to the beach this afternoon? Or what if I want to go to a restaurant this afternoon, but I can't? I got to go to this meeting with Apple Music with this guy who's like, why? What's the point? At this point that I'm working a job now, I don't even like it. Like now I gotta go to the studio at 5:30 a.m. because I have an album turnover due. I have an album turnover due by fucking Friday. Like at that point you're working a job. So that's the whole point of staying independent. And this leads on to my next thing, which is when you're independent, you get to enjoy what I call the laptop lifestyle. You know, you can record music, you earn money online, you know, you schedule and book your own shows, you wake up on your own terms and no one else's. So the whole thing is, when you're independent, is the laptop lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Waking up in whatever country where you want to be at, opening up your laptop, opening up Pro Tools, Cubase, Mixcraft, whatever, FL Studio, whatever you record your music on, setting up a USB microphone, press record, get the beat, press record, record your like 4 songs, get them mixed, mastered right there on your laptop, release them on SoundCloud, Spotify, on your distribution, earn your royalties, you know, sell to your email list, whatever you do to earn your income from being independent, and you know, sell your merch, book your shows, you know, send out flyers, you know, not flyers but email newsletters, you know, on Instagram you can go do swipe up stories, hey, tickets are for sale, you can book out a little venue spot for the night, tickets are for sale, $5, come and join in. You know what I'm saying? That's the laptop lifestyle. That's what you get when you're independent. You don't get that when you're on a major label, because if you try something like that, you better hope that one of the label directors or executives aren't watching your page to give you a call and say, hey, you can't book that show without us knowing. Hey, oh, are you trying to release a song on Spotify and SoundCloud? No, you got to turn that song in and we got to approve that first. Like, that's what's happening when you sign to a label, when you're just coming up. So if you're not there yet and you're not at the level where you can negotiate a contract, stop trying to sign a deal, because you're not gonna get unless you want to take that risk to go sign a deal, and you really believe that your music is gonna be able to, you know, really do its thing with a label. Unless you're already there, do not sign a deal with a label. We've seen countless times so many artists coming in, signing a deal, and then leaving at the end with shit on the stick. You know what I mean? This isn't the 80s, this isn't the 90s, this isn't the 70s, this is the 21st century. It's time to get this money online and stay independent until you reach that level where you can negotiate with labels and work with them, not work for them. All right, guys, don't forget, I'm giving out 10 free beats, so click the link below, get 10 free beats, and get a whole blueprint on how to get 10,000 plus streams on any platform in a matter of days using ads. Okay, and I'll actually show you and walk you through on how to exactly use those ads. So click the link below and get your 10 free beats produced by me, and talk to you guys later. Loudly Sold. Peace out.